8 verses. Theragatha, N.A., Elder. Adapted from the archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Kacca the Great. Reborn in this Buddha age at Ujjaini, in the family of the priest of King Kandapajota, he learned the 3 Vedas as he grew, and succeeded, at his father's death, to the post of priest. And he was known by his clan's name of Kacca. Now the king heard of the Buddha's advert, and said, "Teacher, do you go and bring the Lord here?" He, with a party of 7, went to the Lord, who taught him the path with such effect that at the end of the lesson, he, with his 7 attendants, were established in arahantship with thorough grasp of letter and meaning. Then the Lord, saying, "Come, Bhikkhus," stretched forth his hand, and they forthwith were as Theras of a century of rain seasons, hair of 2 fingers' length cut off, and equipped with bowl and robes. Then the Thera, having successfully accomplished his own salvation, invited the Lord on the king's behalf. "Lord, the king Pajota desires to worship at your feet and hear the path." The Lord said, "Do you, Bhikkhu, go yourself. By your mission, too, will the king be satisfied." He, thus reminded, went with the 7, satisfied the king's desire, established him in the faith, and returned to the Lord. One day many bhikkhus, having put aside their duties, and finding pleasure in worldly activities and in society, were leading desultory lives. The Thera upon that addressed them in 2 verses, and in the next 6 addressed the king. "Let not a monk occupy himself with busy works, let him keep clear of folk, nor strive to copy nor to emulate. Who greedy seeks to taste life's feast entire, neglects the good that brings true happiness. A treacherous bog it is, this patronage of bows and gifts and treats from wealthy folk. It is like a fine dart bedded in the flesh, for erring human hard to extricate." To the king, "Not evil are the actions of a man, because of what another saith or did. It is of himself he must from wrong abstain. Of their own acts the offspring mortals be. No speech of others makes a man a thief. No speech of others makes a man a sage. And what we know at heart we really are. That do the gods who know our hearts know too. People can never really understand that we are here but for a little spell. But they who grasp this truth indeed will make all strife and quarrels to dissipate. The wise man is alive, and he alone, although his wealth be utterly destroyed. And if the man of wealth do wisdom lack, for all his wealth he did not truly live." To the king consulting him about a dream. "Things of all sorts by way of ear we hear. Things of all sorts by way of eye we see. And for the wise and strong it is not fit all to neglect as things unseen, unheard. Let him as seeing be as he were blind. Let him as hearing be as he were deaf. Let him, in wisdom versed, be as one dumb. And let the man of strength be as the weak. But let the thing of genuine good arise. Be that for him the nesting place of thought." Thera Sirimitta. Adapted from the archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Sirimitta. Reborn in this Buddha age at Rajagaha as the son of a very wealthy landowner, he was named Sirimitta, his mother being sister to Theragatha, whose story is included in the Dhammapada commentary. Now he, Sirimitta, Siriguta's nephew, found faith when the Lord subdued the elephant Dhanapala. And he entered the monk's order, and in due course became Arahant. One day rising from his seat to recite the Patimokkha, he took a painted fan, and reseating himself, taught the path to the bhikkhus, and in so doing, distinguished the more eminent virtues thus: from anger and from hatred free, clean of deceit, of slander bare. Look you, a monk such as he, when he goes hence, will weep no more. From anger and from hatred free, clean of deceit, of slander bare. Ever, door guarded, monk, he. When he goes hence, will weep no more. From anger, etc. Of slander bare. Monk of noble virtue, he. When he goes hence, will weep no more. From anger, etc. Monk of virtuous comrades, he. When he goes hence, will weep no more. From anger, etc. Monk of noble insight, he. When he goes hence, will weep no more. Having discoursed against anger and so on, he then set forth the supreme career by verses describing the right attitude for individuals, testifying by that to Anna and himself. Of him whose faith in the Theragatha is firmly planted and unwavering, whose virtues are commended by the good, and pleasing in the eyes of Aryans, who lives contented with the monk's order, who in his views is candid and sincere. No pauper he, they say, with so much wealth, nor sterile and in vain the life of him. So let the wise man, so let him who remembers that which Buddhas have enjoined, devote himself to faith and righteousness, to know the blessedness they brought to us, and the true vision of the holy path. CCXXXI Panthaka Major. When our Lord had gone to Rajagaha, rolling the excellent wheel of righteousness, Panthaka, the elder son. Thera Panthaka, elder. Adapted from the archaic translation by Mrs. Rhys Davids. Panthaka, elder. When our Lord had gone to Rajagaha, rolling the excellent wheel of righteousness, Panthaka, the elder son of a rich counselor's daughter and one of her father's servants, used to go with his grandfather to hear the Lord, and so won faith with insight. Entering the monk's order, he became highly versed in the Buddha word, and in the 4 abstract jhanas, in due time becoming arahant. Living in the bliss of jhana and of fruition, he was reviewing one day his achievement, and in great joy because of that burst into a lion's roar, thus. When first I saw the blessed Lord, him, for whom no fear can from anywhere arise, a wave of deep emotion filled myself. At sight of him, the unmatched man of men, had a man strong on hands and knees. Favour of Fortune's goddess here come, and won the grace of Lord such as this. Still might he fail to win the thing he sought. I for my part all hindrance left away, the hope of wife and children, coin and corn, and let my hair and beard be shorn, and forth into the homeless life I went from home. The life and training practising, all faculties well held in hand, in loyalty to him, Buddha supreme, Lord of self I lived. Then longing rose within my heart, I yearned to consummate. Now will I no more sit, not even for a moment, while the dart of craving sticks and is not outdrawn. Of me thus sure of will, oh, see and mark the onward stride of energy. The threefold wisdom have I made my own, and all the Buddha remains us do is done. I know the where and when of former lives, and clearly shines the divine eye. Arahant am I, worthy men's offerings, released and without basis for rebirth. For as the darkness melted into light, and the day broke with rising of the sun, from craving, becoming dry, had come release, and on my couch cross-legged I sat in peace.